Hi Libras, welcome to my channel Lucy the Antigua Tarot, and my name is Lucy and thank you for visiting. And well, I'm here to do a 9-card spread for you guys. For today is Sunday. Let's start with today is Sunday, September 10th. And we've obviously been through some pretty intense influences with the full solar eclipse of when was that? August 21st. And then we had our full moon 5-6 days ago, actually, on September 6th, so it was 4 days ago. So there's some energies that are coming through at this time that are probably going to be flowing around and coming through until January of next year. So I am doing this reading for you guys, Libras, to kind of see what the tarot cards has to tell you, what advice it has to give you in terms of what's going on for you right now at this point in time. Today's Sunday, September 10, 9/10/2017, and see what kind of advice and messages it has to give you guys. Okay, so I just thought it would be kind of cool to do this 9-card spread for you guys right now. And so let's get started. And I'm first going to pull out your center card, which goes right in the middle, which is where you're at right now, and you're getting the Knight of Swords. Okay, Libras? Now I'm going to start from the top. What's coming in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So coming in, you have the Chariot, Major Arcana. Okay, that's what's coming in for you. Then you have the Death card, another Major Arcana. You have the 4 of Pentacles, Libras. You have the 7 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, which is at your center. You have the Queen of Swords. Wow, you have the Devil. Okay, you have the Knight of Cups. Interesting. And then you have the 6 of Pentacles. Wow, this is a really beautiful reading. I do not see any wands, but I do see that wand energy with the Chariot. You do have Pentacles, 2 Pentacle cards, 2 Cups, 2 Swords. Okay, and then you have 3 Major Arcanas. Wow. And then you have these very powerful cards here. They're not the Towers, but they are about letting go and accepting loss. Okay. But let's talk about, you know, these 2 cards are kind of related. They're all about movement forward. Let's talk about this Knight of Swords, which is at your center, and it's who you probably, this energy, you might be identifying with this energy right now, Libras. Libras, the Knight of Swords is telling me that there are many assertive energies that are encircling you at this time. Okay, and we're going to be looking at some of these other cards around you in relation to this assertive energy, but let's talk a little bit more about this card. Perhaps you're feeling protective, that you need to protect yourself. It's also, you know, this card is a card of philosophy. It's like you could be feeling philosophical, and perhaps by nature you're philosophical. You might be studious, Libra. It could be indicating a person who's studious, alert, as well as direct. And some people might think that you are extremely knowledgeable, that a knowledgeable type of a person or leader. And this Knight of Swords, he's an agent for change in ideologies and how you think about something, your deep concepts of the structure of your world, your value system. And this Knight of Swords, you know, it's indicating that perhaps maybe you're feeling this drive to expand, and he can help you do that. Or it can be somebody who's going to come in, who's going to help you to expand. You have this drive to expand in terms of like maybe your knowledge, understanding of new ideologies or new ways of thinking, and this card, this person, because it could represent somebody who might be coming in and is going to help you with that. Expand your thoughts, to be more creative. And it's definitely action oriented. I mean, it's not just about thinking about it, but it's about going out and doing it. Really going out there and doing it. Notice how he's on his white horse and just ready to go. And the swords do have to do with a lot with our thinking processes, how our logical processes, how we see the world. Okay, so it makes sense. So it's almost like you're just like, so you might be just so ready to move forward on this idea. Or maybe this person who's coming in really wants to come in and help you, who might have these characteristics. Or it could be you, that you just really want to embark on certain studies of certain knowledge, perhaps that you're looking for or pursuing. And if it's somebody that's coming in to protect you, this person is really out there to really make sure you're going to be okay. And I think that's interesting, that whole idea, because here you have this Queen of Swords right next to your Knight of Swords. And Libras, this Queen of Swords, she also has a very assertive energy and a perfectionist. She's a perfectionist and hyper protective of her belief system because it is swords, and very ambitious. Now, it could be this person that's coming in. It's a woman, okay? Oftentimes, we think of her as a mother figure because she's a queen, so she's maybe older, more experienced, and therefore she can be a very knowledgeable leader. But this could also be you. The thing about the court cards, they're very tricky because they can either, and you have 3 of them because you have the Knight of Cups here too. The court cards can either be you or people you know with those traits, or if it's you, the characteristics that you wish to acquire in your path through life. And that's why I keep coming back and forth to somebody you know, or maybe it's you. And with the Queen, it's the same thing. Now, either this person or you, okay, are feeling ideas that are that are coming, that are driven by your heart. And this is what makes you so special. It makes you uniquely you. And you're someone that others enjoy being around and depending on, okay? So either it's she who has these traits, who wants to come in and help you, or this is you with these traits and you have a desire to go and help others to achieve these goals, maybe as a teacher. So basically the swords, and especially the queen, is talking about being highly informed and a very good communicator, an excellent communicator, as a matter of fact. And there's very little that will actually confuse you, because you're so good at figuring things out, Libras, and when others need assistance in any way, in creating a plan, they come to you for help, to organize the plan or their life. Okay, so this card is representing that sheer force of will to achieve, or to make one's journey in life way better, much better, and to also improve on one's own self. Very intense, and these are these two cards in the middle for you, Libras. Wow. So because we're doing the court thing here, let's just let's see what this Knight of Cups is telling you, because he's at the base of your center, okay, and this energy is going up, and he is the Knight of Cups. And because he is a cup card and he is the Knight, right, it again, as I said about the court cards, it can be either somebody with these traits, or you wanting or having these traits. And this, it's the cups. The cups are all about water, emotions, and you have two cup cards, because you have this Seven of Cups also. But this Knight of Cups is telling me that there is like a dedication. There's motivation. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of tenderness. There's a lot of sensitivity. In other words, this is a very loving person, a very loving energy, Libras. Okay, and it is at the base of your center. So even though you're pursuing this new knowledge, a new ideology, and it's all focused on the mind, the logic, you have this very strong emotional base of who you are. You might really enjoy traveling, and you're probably constantly expanding yourself, opening yourself up to new things, to new information, which makes sense, very related to your center card. You are close to your family and friends, and you probably are a defender of honor as well as matters of the heart, and very loyal, Libra. So these are just characteristic traits. So it's telling me that you have these. I think what's going on is that these court cards are describing you to me, Libra. Okay. Everyone goes to you for emotional support. and for nurturing and loving care. And it's a very young, innocent love, okay? It has no like strings attached, if we were to say it that way. You have this ability to take action when needed, you know? The Knights usually do. But it's an innocent energy. But it's an energy that's maturing at the same time. Let's say a student of life, willing to sacrifice for others, on the path to knowledge and wisdom. So it seems to me that with these three cards, I am getting like this strong, with these swords and these cups, there's like all this intellectual energy, Libras, but there's this very profound love, very innocent, young love. It's not a love for gainful for your own gainful purposes. It's just a love that's pure and true, in all the sense of the word, Libras. Really quite beautiful with those three cards that you have there. And I think that this is like your center energy going on over here with these three cards, Libras. You have this Seven of Cups. Okay, so you have Four of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, and Seven of Cups. And these are all minor arcana. So we'll talk about the major arcanas at the end. Keeping in mind this energy from the center, it seems to me that because there's like swords, which is logic, cups, which is emotion, and then here's this earth, pentacles. You have the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles basically is telling us that Libras, you've achieved a lot. You've worked a lot in the world of men. In the world of men, there's the city in the background. And you've accomplished a lot in terms of material wealth and stability. Okay. Notice how he has a pentacle on above his head, his crown, which to me indicates knowledge. You have acquired this material stability through thoughtful steps through this world of man, and also with passion, because you have this pentacle close to your heart. So you've traveled through this world working to achieve the things you have with your heart. Also, you've used your balance of the swords with the cups. And that's what this card is telling me. Okay. And with the Six of Pentacles, it really basically, and it's the card that's leaving your reading, okay, Libra? So this is a pretty important card because it's leaving your reading. You're coming in with the Chariot and you're leaving with the Six of Pentacles. And you would think, what does that have to do with all this? But it has a lot. Because with this card, we not only learn to give to those that need our help when we can, right? And you've achieved stability in the material world with this card. I know it's Four of Pentacles, but 4 is a very powerful number. And here, this image, yeah, it's there. Okay, and so you know how to give to people who need. You're very giving. And you know, the giver usually judges who to give to, right? It's kind of like a judgment kind of and it's got the, you know, it kind of looks like a cross. So it's also like, you know, it's a very like important role on who we judge to give and help. Very important card. Okay. So why are you getting this card leaving your leaving your your reading here with this central energy going on here with um, seeking to expand yourself, and perhaps maybe you want to uh, figure out a way to help people more, or maybe you want to I don't know, nonprofit help, donate. This card can also mean being able to accept people's help. And your center, it was telling you that there could be somebody coming in who wants to help you. This could be somebody, this queen. I mean, it's all very, it can all transfer from you or someone close to you, okay, with these energies. Yeah, and then you have this one. Really, it's telling me that, this Seven of Cups, I mean, is talking about having a lot of options. Sometimes it may be way too many options, and you might have to let some of them go, and it kind of makes sense with this. You might have a lot of like interests, a lot of desires to achieve a lot of different things, and you're kind of seeking to expand yourself. But this might be telling me that there's a lot of things that you might need to let go to achieve this goal of a new ideology. And you might also be kind of hooked on some things, because this card can also be interpreted as holding on too tightly to what one has in the material world. And these two cards can be totally related. Now, these three cards, actually. Okay. And it's interesting because you have this one, and then came this one, and then this one's at the base, just like these are. So, this is a very interesting reading. There's a lot of, it's not really very, very clear yet. It can be very clear. Might make a lot of sense for you, Libras. Now you have this Chariot coming into your card, because like the Death card is pretty obvious, something that needs to die for new things to enter. So because we're talking about ideologies, some old belief systems perhaps need to be let go, which might have something to do with these two cards here and this one. Okay, and it could have something to do with money, being too tied up to your material wealth, perhaps. I mean, this could be read both ways, but maybe because you do have these two cards, it could be a strong attachment to it, and that you kind of like are holding on to, tied to some material stuff, and that you might need to let that go. And this creates a lot of bad habits, okay, or dependencies, okay. Now with the Chariot, really interesting reading this, I have to say, Libras. Yeah, so the Chariot is a number 7 card. It's the number 7 of the major arcanas. That means that it follows the Lovers, and then there's the Chariot, and then comes Strength, I believe. Yeah. Okay. And we can see how this Chariot isn't, it's talking about moving forward. And it's like a call to all of those people, Libras, who are travelers and adventurers. And definitely there's some of that energy here, for sure. In my opinion, an adventurer seeking new knowledge, finding those new horizons, it is a part of exploration and expansion, guiding you on your journey. a journey that you're about to take, or maybe you've already started it. Okay, Libras. And it's not going to be an easy ride, because a chariot is not a modern vehicle of comfort, and it's not very stable, and it wobbles a lot. It is, so, you know, just, it's not going to be an easy ride. But it is a time to think about getting back to the basics, perhaps, because you do have a lot. You got a lot here to choose from, and you might need to let some of that stuff go, let some stuff leave, you know, and yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, get back to basics. Lessen your load. Simplify your life. Okay, before you engage on these new journeys, yeah, it makes total sense now. See how that makes sense now? Now that makes sense. You're holding on too tight to your stuff, to your job, I don't know, money. Okay, and maybe you need to figure out a way how to spread your wealth, since that's your last card leaving this reading. Yeah. So it's an excellent time in your life, Libras, to consider what you can do to cut back. And you might already know this. Okay, what can you do to cut back? So instead of thinking of your journey as a journey to vacation, for vacationing, the Chariot is usually indicating to you that you might consider embarking on something that's a little bit more active, more interesting, a journey of the spirit, in the spiritual sense. Okay. But, you know, it could also be a journey for work and finances. But I think here it's mostly a spiritual journey because, well, you know, it's a new learning journey. Whether it becomes something that's like business or job related, I don't think that that's like, even though you are getting these pentacle cards, but I basically think that it's more in relation to letting go and seeking that new expansion that you're seeking. The expansion could be any kind of an expansion, but it will bring you growth. And it could be a spiritual growth. You know, and because it is a major arcana, I kind of like to think of it being a more spiritual growth. It's coming in, and then you have these other two major arcanas, which are, you know, letting go of stuff. It's a process. It takes a time, so that's why I'm thinking more along those terms. But Libras, either way, it's an awesome throw for sure. Thanks for visiting my channel, Lucy de Antigua Tarot. There's your reading. Have a great rest of the month, and I will see you guys around, okay? Take good care. Bye-bye.
Such few days that we spent together, yet the moments we shared